Hello friends, Stephen Bedall here. Today we are diving into something really special. I want to introduce you to Stratum by Cinematique Instruments. This is a brand new hybrid string instrument built for HALion that fuses the warmth of real orchestral strings with the beauty of analog synthesis. So maybe you're scoring for film, maybe you're producing cinematic, orchestral, or ambient music. Whatever the case may be, I think you're going to absolutely love these rich, layered textures. This instrument is going to open up some wild, creative territory for you. So naturally, the first thing I did when I loaded up Stratum for the first time was to check out some of the presets. And some of these just completely blew me away. Let me show you a few of my favorites. This preset is called Phasing 70. This one's one of my favorites. This is called Flurrying Violins. This one here is called Bowed and Raw. Absolutely beautiful. So what is Stratum? This is essentially a modern string instrument that merges sampled organic strings with classic analog synth textures. It comes with over 70 sound sources, including lush chamber ensembles, solo strings, bowed guitars, as well as iconic synths like the Elka strings, Selena, Jupiter, Prophet, CS60, and more. With just a single hybrid slider, you can smoothly blend between the symphonic and the synthetic. It's like turning a string quartet into a sci-fi pad with just one motion. So the first thing I'd like to do in this video is take a look at the interface. Let's check it out. One thing I love about Cinematique Instruments is how uncluttered their user interfaces are. And Stratum is no different. Everything you need is right here on the main page. So as you can see, there are 4 different slots, and each of these 4 slots is a sound layer. So we have 2 organic layers on the left and 2 synthetic on the right. And if you want to load a new source, all you got to do is click on the name, and that brings up the menu for all of the organic sound sources. We'll press return to go back to the main page. And if we come over here to the right and we click one of these synth sources, same thing, we get a menu of all of our synthetic sound sources, and we can choose between complex and pure. So there's quite a few to choose from here. Now for each slot, we have some control over the overall volume, the pan, the octave, and the EQ. So I'm just gonna solo sound slot number 1. On its own, this layer sounds like this. Really beautiful. So we have a little pan icon right here. And this acts as a volume slider. Adjust our octave. And for the EQ, we have a choice between a regular EQ, high pass filter, and low pass filter. So let's choose high pass filter, and you can hear this come into effect as we slide this down. So let's take this off solo. And coming down to this hybrid slider here, this is where all the magic happens. Pretty self-explanatory. All the way to the right here is synthetic, all the way to the left is organic. And the slider is linked to the mod wheel by default. We can unlink it if we want by just clicking this button. I'm going to keep it linked, and we can also link the mod wheel to the main volume if we want with this button here. I'm going to keep this unlinked for now. And with a preset like this, Right now we're using Analog Dream. You can hear how beautiful it is to transition between this really clean and pure synth sound into a more textured, organic string sound. Now, if we come down to the bottom of the instrument, we have the global controls here. Attack, decay, and a few beautiful effects modules, such as chorus. If we click on this, we can change this from chorus to flutter. We have a drive module to add some saturation. We can do further EQ sculpting with this cut module. And we have a reverb module, which includes 8 beautiful impulse responses. So if we click down here, we can choose plate, reverb, chamber reverb. Above the reverb here, we have a randomize and reset button, and I've been having a lot of fun with the randomize button. I find almost any combination of the sound sources leads to something interesting. Okay, so now that you've seen the core features, let's talk about sound design. Stratum is a playground for hybrid scoring. With just a few simple tweaks, you can move from subtle realism to full-on retro-futuristic synthscapes. And I think the most fun that I've had with Stratum so far is just designing my own custom presets. Let me show you how easy this is. I'll often just start with one of the library presets and adjust it from there to my liking. So right now I have the Bode and Raw preset loaded up. Let's start by taking a look at the synth sounds first. I'm going to solo slot 4. Now this sound tinnitus is pretty cool actually. For the synth sound, I want something similar to this. I don't want anything like too textured. I'm going to look for like a nice lush pad sound. Let's look under pure. A couple of my favorites are the CS family, which sounds like this. Really, really beautiful. Also laser strings, one of my favorites. Okay, that sounds great. Let's return to the main page and also checking out Moonphase here. Another great sound. I think that actually really complements the laser strings, but I'm going to turn it down a bit. I want a nice blend between these two. And I'm also going to adjust this EQ using a high pass filter here for Moonphase. Let's knock out some of those lows and mids from this patch. I want it to sound pretty thin on its own because I'm getting all those mids and lows from the laser strings. So these two on their own now. Beautiful. And I'll just adjust the volume of the Moonphase up slightly. That's the last thing I'm going to do for the synth side. Okay, let's move the slider over to the organic side. Okay, soloing slot number 2, the subtle tutti. That sounds nice. Let's click into it though and see what else we have. Tutti raw. Actually like that a lot more. Let's go with that. And soloing violin 1 move. Also beautiful. Let's turn this down a bit and let's pan the violin 1 to the left and I'll pan slot number 2 to the right. Let's see if we can create a little bit of stereo separation here. Really nice. And last thing I'm going to do here on the organic side is just move slot 1 down an octave. Okay, perfect. Now, one thing that could be really cool is to create a scenario where when I'm pushing the hybrid slider into the synthetic sounds, I'm also driving up the saturation and breaking things up a bit. So we could easily assign any of these effects modules to the mod wheel as well. Let's right click on drive and I'll learn CC. We'll just hit my mod wheel here. And it might be really interesting to do the same thing with the chorus. Let's right click. Again, I'm going to learn CC, and I'm also going to use a different reverb here. I really like Cloud, but let's check out Infinite. Okay, how does this sound? absolutely gorgeous. So if you're scoring for drama or documentaries, I think that this kind of hybrid texture really helps you stand out. I've already used it in several compositions myself, and in fact, I put something together just using a small handful of Stratum presets. Let me show you how it turned out. Using this patch here called Dark and Duster, I was able to create a really interesting arpeggiated sound just by using a relatively short decay. There's 2 instances of the bowed and raw preset, adding some melodic pad sounds. There's just so much beautiful texture in there. I love it. For the low end, I'm using a patch here called Fat 80, and I'm using it for those perfect CS80 style low end bursts. We also have a solo cello and violins patch here at the bottom. All together, sounds something like this. And I should also mention that I'm putting this solo violins patch through a bit of shimmer, which just sounds so cool. Just perfect ethereal atmospheric texture, kind of just floating on the top of everything. So if you're a composer, producer, or even a sound designer looking for that unique blend of analog and orchestral, Stratum hits that sweet spot. It's intimate but cinematic, gritty but elegant, and it offers a unique tone palette that's hard to find elsewhere. I also love how accessible it is. It's a simple, intuitive interface. You can go deep with sound design or just load a preset and get inspired in seconds. So that's it for this walkthrough. Thank you so much for joining me. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and by all means, check out some of the other videos that we have on this channel. And of course, if you want to learn more about Stratum by Cinematique Instruments, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. Go check it out. My name's Stephen Bedall. I'll catch you in the next video. Happy composing.